Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Welcome to Patriots Touchback Podcast.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Patriots Touchback Podcast. It is Season 3, Episode 41, and unfortunately, we have to talk about a defeat. I'm Nick. With me tonight is DJ, who is the only person that decided to pick the Bills this weekend. You do realise you're on a Patriots podcast, not a Bills podcast, don't you?
Yeah, I did realise that, but it's like I said,
okay.
When we were picking them at the very beginning of the season, I always had this one down as a loss, but it's not good.
Fair enough. Right. It's just us two today. You've got us because the cold, cough, whatever has claimed Karl that he was struggling with last week, so he succumbed to that. Yep. And Kieran's on IR for a couple of weeks anyway, so it's just me and DJ.
Yeah,
it's just me and DJ today. So, DJ, New England lost at home 35-31 to Buffalo, despite a 21-0 lead and at halftime leading 24-7. Just in your own words, tell me how did watching that game feel? Did you think it was you? Did you think we were going to win? Did you?
Yeah.
How were you feeling?
Going into the second half, I thought it was like literally blown this team out of all cylinders. I thought they had nothing to do with what we were doing. Like they couldn't answer anything that we were doing offensively, and we were defending everything defensively as well. It just all went to shit in the second half. Basically, it's like, to me, it felt like they never came out of that locker room, and it was a completely different team. I don't know if it was more the Bills side making up adjustments in the second half, which I'm pretty sure by the stats lines, I'm confident that they did. It just felt like it was, that Super Bowl, the Falcons. We was on the flip side of that one in this game. That's how bad it totally felt.
Yeah, I mean, to give Buffalo their dues, they seem to be one of, if not the best team at being able to adjust at halftime. For all of Sean McDermott's issues and qualities and what have you, his ability to get the best out of his team in the second half is second to none. He seems to manage to make changes at halftime that seem to work.
Mind you, with Bill, what he used to do. Bill was a class masterclass in that aspect as well. And I think there was a stat where this is the fourth game that Bills have managed to do this, turn it around in the second half of the games, and come out with a win. And they did it exactly the same again.
With
got to give them credit.
With the Chiefs out, who are the Bills going to lose to?
Texans.
They can't. Well, I said that on the chat. I said they surely can't go all the way to the Super Bowl. This is the Bills we're talking about. They've got to choke to somebody. Surely it's the Texans.
It has to be the Texans, unless they meet us again in the World Cup one or wild card in the next round.
Yeah.
I really don't know who.
I think going back to New England, I think we need to, as a team, we need to make sure that we move on from this, because there's nothing. We've just come off a 10 game win streak. There's nothing worse than losing this game and getting stuck on it and getting down on it, so that you're not preparing for the Ravens correctly. You're not going into next week ready. And I just think, and I have every faith that Vrabel will do that. But I think it's one of those that we need to make sure that we don't get stuck on this game and get hung up on it, because there was some officiating calls that I didn't like. But
Yeah.
officials seem to be crap across the board this year, so I don't think it's just the Patriots.
No.
We've talked on previous episodes about, about the poor start that New England have suffered, and quite often, if we've been put into defend first, if we've elected to defer and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and we're defending first, we've been unable to take charge of that, and we've ended up conceding points. Now, this is on the flip side of this. Obviously, first drive out of, we kicked off. They kicked off to us, and we started in possession. First drive out of the box, we managed. It was an eight play drive for a touchdown, and then our defense went back to back with 3 and out. So it's what we saw in the start of this game was a lot different to what we've seen previously this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the beginning we've always kind of conceded the first drive, and I think that's happened on 8 occasions or 7 occasions out of the 11 games that we've won. So I think we did start off better this time round. Perfect drive at the beginning, then we went 14-0 up. Then they obviously managed to then scrape one back as well, but I think we was distributing the ball pretty well. We was running hard as well. It's not easy in that conditions. I think it's the first time from both running backs, rookies, and Maye to be in that kind of situation and in that weather. So I think the game plan did seem to me it was going to be a run heavy start off. Given the lack of opportunity that our receivers had, that's the kind of feel that I had for the plan was to run the ball as much as we could using Henderson and Stevenson.
Yeah, delusional Pats fan just said about football being 4 quarters. It is very true. Football is a 4-quarter game, but you have to put and you do have to play hard for all 60 minutes. But it helps to put yourself in that position straight from the start. We've been playing from behind for so many games.
Every game. Mm-hmm.
We averaged 9.8 yards per rush on Sunday night. We rushed the ball for a season high of 246 yards.
That's a lot.
And our previous high was 170 something against Cleveland, 177, I think. They really kept the ball on the ground, and they really ran it down Buffalo's throat. And I think that comes back to the adjustment that Sean McDermott must have done at halftime. I don't think, because we just seemed to come out the second half and have nothing, absolutely nothing.
Apart from that Henderson run that happened in the third quarter where Drake managed to block him all the way, but that was the only kind of thing that
I didn't know Drake May had that speed in him.
I know. I was keeping up to even keeping up with Henderson's pace there. I was like, wow, this guy's rapid. But yeah, fair dues to him to get down there.
I noticed in that play, Henderson reached this top speed of 21.4 miles an hour, and Drake May was running at 20.6.
20. Just goes to show how quick May is at running the ball. Yeah.
But
it just felt everything just kind of collapsed in that second half, and you get to, I don't know, you kind of felt like it was the old Patriots again, like, committing the penalties, the flags when it was unnecessary. It was just, I don't know, they really did let their guard down. And I think Vrabel said it in his press conference, it all starts with him, the coaching staff, the players. They just weren't executing the way that they know how. And I think Stefan Diggs did say in his press or some kind of interview, he was like, he actually believes that this loss is a good thing and they'll come better and stronger out of it. And you got to consider at the end of the day, Buffalo's probably the best team in the NFL right now. Probably, I would say.
No, top four certainly,
Rams,
but
yeah, but this
Rams,
ain't no.
Seahawks,
Yeah, but your
Broncos.
Seahawks, well, Broncos, yeah. But it's like I said, this is no dummy team to play against. And if you went up 21 or 24, 10 or whatever the case may be, to manage to even hit 31 against them is pretty impressive. It was just that at the end of the day, they just had a bit more plays in them and adjustment style more than what we did. That's what it all comes down to, coaching. And Josh Allen, at the end of the day, his red zone is just immense. We couldn't defend anything against him.
Yeah, I mean, what Stefan Diggs said about it being
Yeah.
good, that's what I was sort of trying to get at with the not getting hung up on this result. You've got to learn from it. Obviously, the game was referred to as a hats and t-shirts game because we could have won the AFC East. Those hats and t-shirts will be put into storage just for a week. We can still do the job. Or I think a couple of weeks they might be. We've got Baltimore Ravens next Sunday. That's been flexed to Sunday night.
Yeah,
later on this week we will have a preview pod. I believe Carl's going to be out of his bed and off his sick bed by then, so you'll get me and Carl doing that preview.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into that game? Looking forward.
I mean, I think the Ravens, they're not completely out of it, and I do believe that they need to win it out basically to be even have a sniff at getting into the playoffs, which is a worry. And I honestly thought Burrow and the Bengals was going to at least try and dent that for them, like any sniff of the playoffs. But they went 24-0, and the Bengals looked like they were out. They were done for the season. They had players not even bothering anymore, which is a concern because it allowed Lamar to play the way he wanted to play, and Derrick Henry was coming through with some good, strong, powerful runs as well. Say Flowers was cropping up, and which they're going to come in on an all high against us. And we're obviously coming off this defeat, so it's a bit of 50-50 basis here. I don't know who really needs to come out on top. But it's like Vrabel and Maye were saying, we need to take this loss. You turn the page, you learn from it, and you move on. You're on to Baltimore. That's it. There's no point of just of dwelling on what we've just lost. We got defeated by a good team. That's all there is to it.
That first throw from Maye on Sunday, going back to Sunday, that first throw from Maye to Butte for 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That was Butte's only reception of the game.
Yeah.
Matt Collins, he got four for
41.
41. And Butte got one
That's
for 30. And it seemed to me that it was just like almost scared to throw the ball. Now without the Bills were without Christian Bedford, which was supposed to be a great thing. But did you think we should have thrown the ball more than we did?
I definitely think that there was something going on there. I mean, there was players like Diggs never hardly touched the ball when he's supposed to be the most dependable wide receiver that we have. He had 3 for 26.
3 for 26.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you've got Pop didn't touch the ball once. Williams was never targeted. Butte only had that 30, never to be seen again. Hunter Henry, Hooper, they were either blocking or not out there. So I don't know what the whole game plan was in the wide receiver side of things. It was a bit concerning that I don't think we tried to push the ball, as in passing.
Yeah, I mean, if I just read this off, Hollins 4 for 41, Butte 1 for 30, Stevenson 3 for 27, Diggs 3 for 26, Henry 1 for 18, and Henderson was 2 for 13. Now
that's not.
you look at Buffalo. Shakir was 5 for 65, Knox was 3 for 37, Kincaid was 3 for 34. Ty Johnson was 3 for 15. They had no issues in throwing the ball, and yet, we
were struggling.
Yeah, and it wasn't exactly like the weather was preventing that. I don't think it was. It didn't look. Yes, it was cold, but it wasn't. It wasn't like blowing a gale or anything. It shouldn't have been anything to.
It's like you say, they could have been scared. They didn't want to throw the ball. They thought that Buffalo's defense were going to maybe intercept the ball a bit more, or what the case may be. But to me, going into this Ravens thing, I would be more worried about the Ravens defense than what we've just come up against in the Bills. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, while we're talking about throwing the ball, Josh Allen threw to Shakir towards the end of the fourth quarter, which was actually their go-ahead touchdown for their 35. Now, Marcus Jones got 2 hands on the ball, and Shakir got 1.
And it was PI.
At no point did Shakir have control of the ball. Now, to be fair, Jones didn't have control of it either, but Jones was the one that came down on the ground with 2 hands on the ball. And yet I
thought there was a pick, to be honest.
And they gave pass interference against the defender. And then there were a couple of other instances where they didn't even call pass interference either way, when there was one that should have been called in our favour and possibly one that should have been called in the Buffalo's favour. But, officiating is a big problem in the NFL at the moment. But that in particular, how do you get that so wrong?
That point was the game changer, I think, as well. Because that would have then determined they wouldn't have been able to have then drived and got that last touchdown. But like you say, the officiating was appalling, I think, on this situation. I mean, there was I think that Mac Hollins one, that where Drake actually threw the interception, that I think should have been a more of a pass interference for us. And then there was an occasion where I saw on Twitter earlier on that Diggs was getting on that last drive that Maye had on the 4th down. Diggs was getting pulled. No flag, no PI, nothing. And then the ball obviously then got tipped and it went to the ground and it was game over. But it's like you're seeing things for one thing, but you're not for all of them. So yeah, it's just not good all round, really. But we didn't do enough at the end of the day. You're 21, 20, 24 up. You can't just blame the refs. We should have been.
Yeah, no, I get that. Something that's bothering me is our red zone offense. It was at one point. Well, no, our red zone offense. Yeah. But our red zone offense at one point this season was as high as 62%. We've got a season average of 50%. And yet the last 3 games, we've had an average of just 30% of red zone success. Why is suddenly our red zone offense becoming a problem? Is it a case of teams are recognizing, because this late in the season, there's so much tape on what you're doing. Is it a case of teams are have more footage in which to watch what we do and know what we're doing? Or is it a case of we are not executing as well as we were?
I think it comes down to a bit of both. I mean, there's probably a lot of footage now. You've played, 13 games or whatever, what was it? 14 games. So there's obviously a lot of plays that are on tape and everyone can take it and deal with it then. But I think our execution at the end of the day of getting open is just not there. Is why the fact I think Maye is having to run a lot now, more than in the second half of the season. You know, he ran in for 2 touchdowns. Why? Because we were at the red zone, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't confident no one was going to be open, so he just ran for the ball, ran for the end zone. So
Yeah.
I think it's more our offense not being open enough for Drake to throw it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Drake's got his favourites. Hunter, he's got his Hunter Henry. You know, Hunter Henry's like that soft toy you went to bed with when you were a kid. You know, your comfort toy. He's got Hunter Henry. He's got Stefan Diggs. They seem to be the two that he likes to throw to.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think all this season scoring points has never been a problem. You know, for a lot of the season it's been point saving, and obviously on the defensive side of the ball. As we get towards the end of the season, looking back on the defense, obviously not necessarily just this game in particular, but as a whole, where do you feel we as the Patriots need to improve?
On defense?
Yeah.
I think we lack a really good safety. Even free or SS, I think we really do lack someone in that backfield. And believe it or not, I think we're the middle linebacker core. I think shown that, or given that Spillane was out, or he was meant to be playing, but then I think he did warm-ups and he got pulled out. I think the linebacker core, I don't think Tavai, Gibbons and Ellis is enough. And that's where we were giving up a lot of the plays, was that middle of the field. You know, a couple of those Buffalo players were wide open, and it was in between our free safeties and the middle linebacker. The guy was just there by himself. It was Knox or Kincaid, whoever the case may be. Someone was always wide open. And again, is that us blowing coverage? Is that the defense not knowing what they're doing, or is it because, lack of communication, or lack of who's covering who, or what they're playing? It is definitely a concern. I mean, out of the last 3 games, I think we've conceded a lot of points in the red zone. We just can't seem to defend guys in the red zone. Yeah, I think it's those are the 2 key positions. I think we kind of need someone. And then you got I don't know if it's a case of the Buffalo defense being, or the O-line being really strong, but I think Chase on and who's the other guy we got on the other end, they weren't even getting close to Allen half of the times. Whilst in other previous games we were getting to the quarterback quite easily. So Landry was probably the other one that I was thinking about. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit of a downfall from the defensive side, I think. Right?
I mean, I think we noticed when we didn't have Gonzalez at the beginning of the year, we were really light at corner. So I think, you know, like you said, Landry we could do with some help with Landry at edge, and I think corner we need some help for Gonzalez, and then like you said, safety. I think, you know, they're probably your 3 that you need to answer quickly, and you know we'll have to.
I think we do miss. We definitely miss like the likes of Barmore. He didn't even have a snap this week, did he? No, he didn't. He was only on for 1, which is weird. So we had no Barmore, no Milton Williams. We just missed those 2 big kind of guys. Tonga couldn't get through either. Again, is he been rushed to come back because we have fuck all there, which is another worry as well. But yeah, I mean, for tackles itself, I mean, Jalen Hawkins came up with 11. Marcus Jones, I thought he played phenomenal. I thought he was everywhere on that field, given though he did give up that penalty, even though it wasn't a penalty. But there you go. I thought he played really, really well. Even likes of Carson Davis, he made a good couple of plays as well, where he came down and rushed the tackle and that. So yeah, there's a couple of players I would just like. Charles Woods as well. He felt like he was out of place numerous of times against the receivers. Gibbons didn't really. Wales, they didn't really factor into anything. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then special teams as well. That was a shocker.
Yeah, I thought we were poor for special teams this week.
Yeah, we gave so many so many kick returns and stuff like that. Penalties. Because we had a good run. What did we have? Like, I can't. Was it Marcus Jones? We took like 50 yards, and then someone had a penalty. Can't remember who it was, and that got written off.
Yeah, like, seven penalties for 65 yards, whereas Buffalo picked up 2 penalties for 15 yards. So, you know, total plays 51 against 67. You know, we got 385 yards to their 349, and we were averaging over 2 yards a play more than Buffalo. The 14 points that we scored in that first quarter, if you offset that for the 14 they scored in the third quarter, it just comes down to that second and fourth quarter where they scored an extra 4 points. But where do you think we could have been better this week? Because as I look at it, I look at how. Go on, you carry on. I asked the question.
No.
You answer it.
I know there's a lot of guys out there saying we didn't play in defense, we couldn't get them off the field, blah blah blah. I get that. I think the defense will way too long on the field, and they will get them burnt. But I think that comes down to the offense not giving the defense enough time. If we're going 3 and out all the time, and we're not talking about 3 and out long drives, we're talking about within 2 minutes we were off the field again. It's not giving the defense enough time to be able to even
rest.
Go against rest and go against the offense again. So I'm going to put this one down on the offense. I don't think we done enough offensively. I know we went up 21-10, 21-7, what the case may be, but we took our foot off the pedal at the second half. Coming out of that second half, we did not ram it down their throats like we should have. And I think, I don't know what changed or what the case may have been, but offensively, I felt that apart from Henderson, how he ran that ball was immense, by the way. That kid is coming through like a solid RB. But other than that, I really do think this is the offensive side of fault. I think it's Josh McDaniels got it totally wrong, coaching side. And yeah, I don't think we did enough.
So we were just saying a few minutes ago. You talk there about the offense doing enough, and we were just saying, do you put that down to the passing game, or do you think there's more to it?
Passing.
Because we've just said that we didn't really, Drake Maye was 14 for 23, averaging 5 yards a pass.
That's a passing game. There's something not right there. You're not targeting Butte, you're not targeting Pop, you're not trying any, special plays. I don't know. Hunter was never to be seen. Hooper is normally quite active, and I just think it was just the passing game. There was something not right there, and that's what's obviously then allowed Buffalo to come back in the game because the defense were gassed out. 5 touchdown drive, like bang, bang, bang 5 times. You can't allow that against a Buffalo team. You can't and expect to win.
Yeah, I mean, last This game, there were 14. We completed 14 passes.
Yep.
And the average for the last 3 games has been 20. And funnily enough, that's our season average. Our season average is just under 21.
But
21
5 out of those passes
completions
to
again.
running backs as well. So you're talking about 11 passes to wide receivers. If you're taking away because they're probably like screens or whatever you call HB screens or whatever you want to call them. It's just if it just felt that the passing game wasn't there and it's not enough.
Yeah, essentially, delusional Pats fan. That's what we're saying.
saying.
We need to be better on the passing game. How do we move forward?
It's like I said, if you just turn a page the next day, you start studying for Baltimore. I mean, I know they're going to go on. They probably went in on Monday morning. They viewed all the tape, what they did wrong, what they need to correct, and then obviously work out a game plan for Lamar and King Henry and Co. Because that's not going to be an easy one, easy again. Especially, are we away? I'm assuming we're at Baltimore, are we?
Yeah, I think we are. Yes, we're at Baltimore.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy either. But yeah, I think it all comes down to coaching these guys after the loss, and I think it's a good thing because you need to be, we're on cloud 9 at the moment. You got 10 straight wins. This will give them a proper knock in the head and say, right, we need to buckle down if we're not going to lose this division.
Yeah,
or even the seed.
That actually goes to my next question, because my next question to you was going to be: are we going to win our division? Is this going to knock us off completely, or do you still have faith that we'll win it?
I think it's all going to come down to this game. I really do believe if we can somehow beat the Ravens, I think we'll do it, because we've still got 2 more easier games. I think we've got the Jets and Miami after.
Jets
Whilst
and Dolphins, yeah.
Buffalo, I'm led to believe they got to go to the Eagles, I think, on their remaining
That's
game.
a good question. I will tell you.
Yeah, so they've got to go to the Browns this week. They've got to go then to the Eagles, which I think that could be the game where they lose it. We're going to win the div. So we definitely need to beat the Ravens this week. And if we don't, then that's going to peg us back 12-4, which if they beat the Browns, that makes them 12-4, wouldn't it? 11-4.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, the first tiebreaker, which is head-to-head, it's split 1-1.
It's split. I don't know what it goes to after that.
Yeah, it goes to division. Sorry, it goes to division record, of which we're currently just ahead. But if they win another
if we beat the 2 last ones, that's 2 more conference ones. But they also have the Jets.
Yeah. So if we beat the Jets and the Dolphins, that should be enough.
That should do it. Yeah.
But a defeat to Philadelphia by Buffalo would certainly be helpful. Certainly help the cause.
My worry is like looking forward, and I know we're looking wild card, blah blah blah. If it stays the way it is now, I'm led to believe unless Texans win out and Jags lose at least a game, we would be playing the Texans first, and Buffalo will be going to Jags. Because it'll be second versus.
I will give you that answer right.
That's why I want Texans to win the South, and we would then have to play the Jags, which I think will give us a better chance to win. I don't think I know Texans are getting. I think they've lost 2 key players this week, to be honest, on defense, but they still look strong.
So, as it is, Denver hold the first seed.
They get the bye. Yeah.
We hold the second seed, and we would welcome the Texans to us.
There you go. I don't want that
because the Texans are currently 7th. They are one of the.
Then Jags will play Bills, won't it?
Wild cards. Jags would play the Bills, and
we want
Pittsburgh
that
would
round.
face LA. Yeah, I mean, Jags at 10-4, Houston at 9-5. So there's one game. There's one game in it. I haven't been following that division closely enough to see who's
Jags still got to play the Broncos, Colts, so they could possibly lose.
Houston beat the Jags already.
Yeah,
Houston beat the Jags and lost to the Jags. So both have won their respective home games. Jaguars 17-10, 36-29. Yeah. So at the moment, they don't hold the tiebreaker. Jacksonville hold it. So even if Jacksonville were to lose a game and Houston were to win a game to be equal, Jacksonville hold the tiebreaker. So we may need Jacksonville to lose 2 for that to change.
Well, I was going to say they've got Broncos and they have Colts. Those are 2 losable games for them, I think. And then
I think Houston could beat the Colts, but the Broncos, that's a
yeah.
I mean, the Chargers doesn't fill me with much more excitement anyway, and they're what are they?
Texans got. I'm just going to check who they got left to play. The Texans have got Raiders, which they'll beat them.
Win.
Chargers, I reckon they can beat them, and then the Colts. They could go 3-0, easy.
Certainly 2-1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, based on at the moment, New England would welcome Houston, Jacksonville would welcome the Bills, and Pittsburgh would welcome the Chargers. I mean, you probably, if you wanted to avoid Houston and you wanted to avoid Buffalo, but then again, you get to the playoffs and there's no easy game. None of those games are easy. So,
yeah,
I think we just have to keep going and hope for the best. So, obviously we've been struggling for technical difficulties today. Is there anything else based on the weekend that we've just seen that you wanted to bring up? Is there anything that we haven't discussed?
No, nothing that I can think of. I mean, I think we signed a middle linebacker yesterday, and I think he's not even gone to the practice squad. I think he jumped straight into the first team.
I know we waived Caleb Murphy, I think.
Yeah, he
got rid of him.
Is it Malu? Is that his name? Maybe.
Maui. He's in Moana.
Oh no, not that guy.
Let's sign that guy. He's good.
I'm pretty sure we signed a Colts linebacker.
Was he 44 as well?
No, he wasn't 44. There we go. Oh, Chad Muma.
Oh, okay.
We signed him off the Colts practice squad, straight into the team.
Fair enough.
At linebacker. So,
how do you have an opinion on 44 Phillip Rivers coming back?
I don't.
How desperate have you got to be? How desperate have you got to be to bring that guy back? You know,
you got loads of other quarterbacks that are third stringers that can capable of playing that in that offense, but I don't know. Really don't.
When you bring a 44-year-old Philip Rivers back over a 38-year-old Colin Kaepernick, what are you saying about it?
That's true.
What are
as
you
well,
saying
yeah.
about? Because that's the thing that got me.
That's the controversy in it, yeah.
So,
or even like a Brady. Can he even return? I don't know if he can.
Someone said that, and he was asked that on Fox, and they said, "Oh, well, if the Patriots needed you, would you answer the bell?" And Brady said, "Yeah, of course I could. I could still do it." But Brady's going to go and play flag football. He's going to Saudi Arabia or Qatar, and he's going to play flag football with Gronk and what have you. So,
imagine Drake May gets injured last game of the season, out for the season. We'd sign Brady to come back for the player football. Oh, bring back Gronk. Fucking Jules could be back as well. Let's all go. All Fox crew.
I don't know whether we could do that, because don't Tampa hold his registration?
Yeah,
as he was the last team they played for.
Well, no, because he
retired.
Didn't he sign a one day contract?
No, Gronk signed a 1 year. I don't think Brady signed a 1 day. Did he? To retire a Patriot?
No, sorry, Gronk did, yeah. But Brady,
I don't think Brady. I don't think Brady
he retired
did.
yet.
So, I mean, Brady sent his letter into the NFL to say that he's officially retired, and
I seen that he was going to flag football or something for like mega millions.
Yeah,
fair play.
Well, right, okay. Seeing as it's just us two and we've covered the game and we're happy with that. Just a short one today, folks. So thank you very much for being with us
on Friday. The review.
Yes, the preview for the Ravens game is on Friday. Karl will be off his deathbed by then, I hope.
Yeah.
We've got a guest from Ravens UK or
Ravens UK.
Ravens across the pond, whoever it is. So we'll have a guest on. Kieran's missing for that, so I've volunteered to sit in for that one as well. Other than that, we will be back again next week with a review of the Ravens game. DJ, thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, bud. Been a pleasure.
No worries. Thank you to everybody else who's listened. If you're not subscribed to the show, then please do. Everyone says smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, Gronk spike it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
Gronk spike it, whatever you want to do, just subscribe and have some fun. And then you don't have to miss an episode. Thank you to DJ. Thank you to everyone. Go Patriots, and we will see you later this week.